This is the homework help for lesson 8.1. So what we looked at in this lesson was how we model curves of best fit. So things that are U-shaped, or it could just be half the U-shape as well. So it could just be like this part of the curve. We can also have upside down U-shapes. We can just have partial curves as well. So just anyway, so basically any curve, anything that looks like this shape, this parabola shape is going to take this form, ax squared plus bx plus c. And we're going to find out what these numbers are. This equation here is the important one that we're going to type in after we've typed in each coordinate. So for each question, all you're going to do is you're going to go to the Desmos calculator on the next screen. You're going to click on plus. You're going to click on table, and then you can start typing in those coordinates that you saw from the previous page. So -8 and so on. If it's easier, you might want to take a picture of on your phone perhaps. Move across to this slide here and then type everything in. Once you've got everything typed in, you're going to type in that formula that you saw, the Y1. I use shift and the key above the tab to get that symbol there. AX1, notice it puts it lower. And then the squared symbol. Whoops, there we go. Right arrow key, whoops, too many squares in there, plus BX1 plus C. So that's kind of your important equation while you're doing this. And I missed the 1 out here. I thought I'd got it in. Now, the reason it's saying error is because I haven't actually typed in any of the coordinates. But once you do type in some of those coordinates, let's just enter a few. -8, -5, -3. All right. -8, -5, and -3. And I'll do the same for the y's, 15, 21, 26. Now, you should definitely do all of these. This should be enough for at least it to give us an answer. Now, you might not actually see the graph, so you might have to zoom out to actually, oh, there you go. Now you can see it. So you might have to play around with this just a little bit. Now, it might just look like a straight line at this point. But as you put more points in, hopefully you'll notice that this does look more like a curve. And it will give you some numbers here, which are your A, B, and C. So you put those in front of these terms here. So it was 0.1x squared plus 3.3x plus 35. Now you're probably going to get not very nice decimals, and they're probably 4 or 5 decimal points long. Unfortunately, you do need to type in the full numbers, or else it will say error as you're doing those questions. Same thing for this type of question. You're going to type in the question like you just saw on the next slide. You're going to write in your rule, and this time it's going to ask for a prediction. So this one says, use the curve of best fit to determine the height of the ball as it travels 80 meters. So what you're looking for is, which one is this? So we're trying to find the height, but the ball travels 80 meters. So in other words, that's the distance. So this is the x value. So you would type in x equals 80. Now, I don't have that for this question, so I'm going to make up a similar question for this one. So, for example, it might say, I'm going to type in x equals 2, and it will draw in a line for you. And you're going to do 80, though, for your question. And you're just going to look where it actually crosses. So I typed in x equals 2, so that's not the number I'm interested in. I'm interested in the other number, which would be 42. So that's how you're going to make your predictions when it comes to doing that part of the question. Same sort of thing for this one here. We got some numbers we can type in. It asks you for the equation down here. On this one, it asks for which price should the park charge in order to maximize profit. Now notice there's 2 things here. Price, which is x, profit, which is the y value. And this one also says, what is the maximum profit? So that's talking about the y value for this one. Now, if we go back to the previous question, unfortunately, this one actually goes this direction, but you can actually have graphs that go the other direction, and the maximum would just be the highest value. So on this question, actually, it's the lowest value on the graph. So this would be my lowest x value, and this would be my lowest y value. On the question that you do, the graph's going to go the other way around. But remember, this is called the vertex. The vertex is either the highest or the lowest point on the graph. So on this question, it's the lowest, but on the question that you're going to do, it would actually be the highest. And it also does say round to the nearest cent. So if you don't quite get the right answer, just try adjusting those cents, like adding on 1 or taking away 1, just to make sure that you get the right answer. As we move on to slide 8, same thing. You can type in those values. You can write the equation. This also asks for how much fuel would the car use if it was going 19 miles an hour. So 19, that's your speed, that's your x. So you type in x equals 19 and look where it crosses. Use the curve of best fit to find a speed that maximizes the fuel economy. So you're looking once again at the highest point on the graph. It's going to look like this shape again. And click on there, but pick out the x value because it talks about what's the best speed for that question. And for the last one for 10, find a rule for this one, type it in, very similar to what we did. You might have to look back at the very last example from lesson 8.1, part 2. And same thing, you're going to type in the graph and then you're just going to pick 3 points and actually lie on that graph. All right, that should help you with the homework questions, and good luck with the rest of those.